so welcome to this lesson. So what I want to just talk about first of all is your publisher document. So you can see here I've divided mine up into 3 this way and 3 this way. So I've just done that with some little lines. Now on publisher it is possible to do it in a different way, but what I want you to imagine is, even if you don't physically put these lines into your publisher document, try and think of it like this. This is the space you're going to work in. Okay, now try to imagine maybe down this side is where you're going to put all your screen grabs, and along here is where you're going to put your actual outcomes, the work you've done, so the experimentation, and at the top here you might put any other elements like writing. Now potentially the written stuff could just go in a little insert, but for today I'm just going to put it here. Now I'm doing this just to try and avoid having lots of white space. Now there's going to be some white space, but probably what I will do, if I can't quite fit them directly in here, they'll just be above or just below. Then maybe there will be little gaps between these, but this is the sort of grid I want you to try and think about when you do your work. Okay, so what we're going to do today is you're going to look at the atomic structure of your elements. So in this case I'm looking at sodium, and I think it's really important that you look at what sort of color your element is. If you don't know what it is, literally go on to Google Images, what color is blah blah blah. Okay, and that's what I did here, and any information you get from that please put into your publisher document, get it to fit into one of these little sections. Okay, and then I recommend you also go to your coolors.co and get your color swatch, okay, and get that sorted out so you know exactly what color palette you're going to use. So there you go, mine burns yellow, so I'm going to use yellow in there somewhere. Okay, so the important thing to do, obviously go into here, find a really simple graphic that you want to work with. Don't go with anything that's got color in it already, just something really simple. Okay, copy it in and put a copy of that image into your publisher document as well. I've done that here, and then copy it into Photoshop. So on Photoshop, make sure you start a new blank page, and let's do it as International Paper A4. Okay, the reason I want you to do that is because it'd be the right proportions for everything else that goes into your little book. Now here we go, so I'm going to paste that in. It's a bit small. If it's too small, find a different one. If it pixelates, just enlarge it up as much as you can. Okay, that's fine, I can work with that. Alright, so I'm now going to drop in my colour, which I know is yellow, but I'm going to go on here just to be more accurate. Take it from my little swatch, remember, pen, the little eyedropper thing here, go back on, decide where I'm going to drop those. It's quite obvious. I'm going to do a little bit in the background. If it does that, remember, go to image mode, change that to RGB color, and then it should work. Don't flatten. And there we go. So I can drop that in. I'm going to do something very obvious with that, and why not even add a bit more. There we go. So that's my first little development. Yes, I could get a screen grab of that. It's a very simple thing to have done. Let's do it. There you go. It shows the first stage. And it's really important to bring that in. So that will be that one there. Okay, now we don't want it that big, so we're just going to try and fit that in here or here, and then what we will do, we'll put in a copy of that. So it's really worth saving that. You save that as a JPEG. Okay, design 1, and then obviously bring that in to your publisher document like this. Okay, design 1, so that goes in. So that's the outcome of your experimentation. Now that should fit nicely in there. Now the awkward thing about the screen grabs is they don't really fit particularly well, so you may actually just be able to pop those under. So I'm going to break my rules there a little bit and just go up here, so that could go under there. We'll move this around and see what we're going to do later. So let's go on and do the next one. So as we usually do, duplicate the layer, move it slightly, alright, play around with these filters until you get something that you think looks really good. Looking good already. Literally go through them all, find something nice. Now, no, that's quite good. So for the sake of the argument, maybe I'll go with, I don't really like that, any of those. Right, not a lot of change there, so I'm going to do Control I, so that inverts it. I'm going to invert the one underneath as well. Okay, and then what you can do, if say you still don't really like that, go back to undoing that one, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start chopping sections out. So do a little draw a box, press delete. Okay, see if I get anything different coming out of this. So that's alright. Just randomly playing around with this. Of course I could drop in some colours in there. Let's change, let's go back to my page. I'm going to go with that one. Whoops. We go with that one, and then that gets dropped in there. And you can just literally play around until you get something different going on. Now, if that doesn't show a lot, then obviously just keep, there you go, that's quite nice. Play around with that a bit more. So that could be your next design. So get a screen grab again, the whole thing. Okay, remember this is the process, so it's really important we put that in. So this is what really takes the time. So I'm going to make sure these are all the same size. Just going to stick them all down here for now. Then put in that. So you should save it. Can copy it over if that works, but just make sure it's a good definition, because you may later on be asked to print that out. There we go. So that goes in. That should fit into another one of these little boxes. Alright, something like that. Actually, I'm going to bring that right down. I'm going to fit these back in here. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to put my screen grabs on this side, my outcomes there. I might leave a little bit of gap for writing underneath each screen grab. So there you go, that looks pretty good. So screen grabs are all going to go down here. The graphics is going to go over there. So let's try a couple more. So if you get to this point and you think actually really can't get any further with this, File, Save, and then open up something like Photomosh and then play with it in there, because we definitely get some good ideas from Photomosh. Okay, so go back here. There it is. There it is. Okay, and just play around with that so you get some good ones. Might want a black and white one. I'll save that. You should probably get a screen grab off Photomosh as well to show that's how you did it. I think you just get some fresh ideas doing this. I think get a couple of those black and white ones, they're quite nice. So you get the idea. So there you go, save that one as well. So what I will then do is obviously let's get a screen grab of Photomosh. Come on. There it is. So that can explain that this is another way of just adding different filters. So I am going to insert the Photomosh stuff that I just did. So that should be in downloads. What have we got? So let's bung in that one. Go there. So as you can see, you can sort of develop a page pretty quickly just by using this method of working. Alright, let's get the screen grab in for that one as well. think it's starting to build up quite nicely. There we go. So we've got 3 screen grabs, we've got 3 designs. I want another design. Try that one. And also at the same time your book is filling up as well. Okay, so I should probably have a screen grab of that. So let's imagine I've got a screen grab of that as well. Okay, so if you do it that way, that works out quite well, because then that leaves a little panel at the bottom for any writing later on. Alright, so you can just neaten these up a little bit so they're all the same sort of size. And there you go. So that's how you're going to experiment with your atomic structure. Now we've got a fair bit of space here, so what I suggest you do is maybe you just make this stuff a little bit bigger. There's no reason why we couldn't have the colour thing bigger here. Let's do that. That's like a screen grab of my colour. That can still go there. Colour palette can go there. Sodium can be big there. So that, I'll bring that down. Just leave it like that. Now that's fine. Okay, so writing will go in there, and you've got your page sorted out. I'm not a massive fan of that big gap there, so what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to do something with that title. And I'm going to use that. That's going to fit in there, something like that. Okay, so I want you to be aware of how you actually can lay out your page. So I'm going to center all of that. That I'm going to bring up a bit more. Bring that up. So that's done. Okay, writing in there, just talking about all the stages of what you've just done. Okay, so I'll put this all up on Teams so you know exactly what you're doing. And I think it's really important that we do spend a bit longer on our sort of layouts of our pages. Okay, because if you've done that, let me just take those lines away now. So there we just for a guide. You can sort of see that that's actually looks reasonably neat. Okay, so it doesn't look too bad at all. Move those a bit. And that's pretty much ready for printing, and you could probably just print that, stick it straight in, don't really need to do anything else with it. Okay, bit of writing in there where you just talk about sort of colours, how you got to your colours. You'd explain basically the screen grabs. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Good luck. Now I'm expecting 2 pages. This will be your first page. What you can do on your second page is you should probably have like 3, 6, 9 designs, or 2, 4, 6 designs, and all of these could be screen grabs down there. Or you might be deciding that you're going to have just 4 more designs, but they're all quite big, so they would fit a page like this. You'd have 1 there. Okay, then you'd have your other design. Imagine you'd made more designs. Get rid of that. And then you could just sort of like have them like this. Design 2, design 3, and that, you know, that is another way of just doing a sort of layout in your book. So forget all that other stuff that's underneath it, but that would actually work quite well as a design. So this is how you could lay out maybe your second page. So if you didn't want to do you know, another 6 designs, you could just do 4 more, but let's just make them really nice big designs. Okay, so it can be as simple as that. That's probably what I would do. And if you want to go any further, of course, you could even have, you know, a page where if maybe you've got your favorite design, print that out so it fills the whole page. You know, if that is a really phenomenal design, you think, you know, I want people to see that, literally do that. Okay, so it's simple as that. So that could be your third page. That's like the outcome. If you work like that, then I think you know, you'll actually develop your sketchbook really, really quickly. Okay, let's put it all back to normal. Hope that helps.